Welcome to Speaking in Spoons with your host, Christina Brookman.
Hi, my name is Christina Brookman, and I am your host for Speaking in Spoons, and this is a Spoonie Sunday. Um, it has been a interesting week for me. Um, I actually made notes so that I can make sure I kind of wanted to say what I wanted to say. Um, but I was actually in the ER again this week. Um, my migraines have been really severe the past couple weeks. Um, and I was at the doctor's office having a migraine. And, when this happens, as I've said, I get um, paralysis on the right side of my body and drooping in my right side of my face and difficulty talking. And it just kept getting worse and worse. And the doctor thought it was necessary to send me to the ER. So they sent me to the ER. And at the ER, if you're or like urgent care or anything like that, they can give you what's called a migraine cocktail. For me, what usually works is like Benadryl, Toradol, and Reglan through an IV. And it's incredible. Like when you have that, like within 20 minutes, it's like I can start moving my face again and lifting my leg, like, because I guess I cannot lift my leg. Um, and that it's scary. It's especially scary for um those around you. The guy I'm dating was with me, and he called my mom, and it's scary. Um, but it's just, and I just kept having migraines all week. And to the point, you throw up, it affects other things. It is hard being in a relationship when you have a chronic illness. It is hard letting somebody help you, asking for help when you need it. Um, it is also hard when somebody is doing it so willingly. You feel guilty because you don't want to be a burden. Like I messed the bed, and he had to not only clean the bed, but he had to clean me, get me in the shower, sit me on my rollator in the shower so he could bathe me. Um, that is part of being in a relationship with someone with a disability. I mean, maybe not every disability, but I mean, there are it's messy. I think relationships are messy in general. Like everybody thinks of fairy tales and stuff like that when you're little, but being in relationships, life is messy. It gets messy. So if you can't, you got to be able to handle the mess, or at least if you're going to be in a relationship with someone on a chronic illness or disability, you have to be able to handle that. And it's been uh, amazing to realize that, I'm with somebody who can, but, it's also scary. And I also still feel guilty, like when he's bathing me, that I'm a burden, and I don't want to be a burden. But I also know, like, he has his own medical stuff, and I would be there for him too. And but uh but at the ER, one thing I wanted to bring up, and those of you who go to the doctor's office a lot or are in the ER hospitals, the smells and the lights. I mean, the doctors need the lights. So I recognize that. And I will usually close my eyes. Actually, my body naturally closes it during one of these episodes, and I can't open them, which is strange. But Um, but the smells are such a trigger, and I'm shocked that it is not like a law, like a rule that nurses and it's usually not doctors, but it like, nurses and like the people that are around the patient um, cannot wear perfume, cannot wear lotions. A lot of people use oils that will have an odor. Um, but it's not, I mean, I recognize that what I have is a rare condition, and there are not a lot of people out there that sniff something and then go paralyzed on one side of their body and drop fall. But many people have allergies to perfumes and lotions. There is asthma out there, and it can trigger their asthma. There is just chemical sensitivity with those with autism and things like that. So I'm just, I wish we could make like a movement to make this like, you cannot wear this, because while I was in the ER, they gave me my migraine cocktail. I'm doing good. And then I hit the call button that I have to pee. And a new nurse comes in to bring me my pot, and um, is like, I mean, reeked of perfume. And I was like, oh my God, I'm terrified. It like, you just cured me, and now I'm gonna get re-triggered, plus the bright lights. And I start getting overheated when I get triggered. So I was getting flushed in the face. And I was like, oh no, this is a sign. It might be coming back. Um, so I even talked to the doctor when he came back. I was like, my nurse has a really strong perfume. I've got to get out here soon, or I'm going to be here for the week, you know. Um, and so they were working on getting me out. And I even asked her, I said, I'm really not trying to be rude. And I know you're busy. You guys are swamped, but is there any way I could have somebody else? Your perfume is just kind of setting me off. And she said, I'm just here for your toilet. But she wasn't. She, like, she was the one that would always come in. So and I guess she was very defensive of what I said, and I tried to be as nice as possible, but I shouldn't have to. Like, I shouldn't have to say, please don't be wearing something that triggers my migraine or can like set somebody with asthma into an asthma attack, for Christ's sake, in a hospital. I just don't get that. Um, my other thing was, I realized I got my food stamps. I may have said this last week. It's kind of been a whirlwind. $36 for a month. Um, and it's not a mistake. I've been realizing more and more people that I know on food stamps, their food stamps have been cut. It's not a thing went around in 32 states where they took away the extra benefits you got during COVID, which we all knew was kind of coming. They didn't transition it. So one month you had it, the next month you didn't. That's pretty hard. But not only did they do that, they also slashed benefits in general. There was an article that I read that by like 70, $80, the average household was being cut. So like I know someone whose mother is only getting $9 a month. Like, and she's elderly, and like she's in her 70s having to go back to work, like be on her feet all day. And it's really causing her a tremendous amount of pain. Um, and it's just, we don't think of people in need. Like people think food stamps, they think it's a bunch of lazy people, like elderly are on food stamps. Um, people on disability are on food stamps. And, you can't like just be on food stamps forever. I mean, I've been on for 10 years because I've been on disability, but like, you can't just, life is hard, life is messy, and people lose jobs, people transition, and that's what these services are there to help us when we are in need, you know. Um, so I'm just shocked. Mine is the lowest it's ever been the whole time I've ever been on food stamps, and the cost of food has gone up. So it just, and that insurance card I got isn't working. Like sometimes it'll work for something and then the rest of the bill is on me. So it's just very strange. Like it doesn't always cover water. It's just bizarre. And I would consider water a healthy food. Um, so lastly, this is kind of what I wanted to go into about, life is messy and all of this stuff. You all know that I moved the past couple of weeks, and I think that's that stress, that physical. I mean, I didn't physically move because I couldn't. People helped me, but that's a stress. And anytime you have stress and you have an illness like a chronic disability, chronic illness, it affects your body, and it has been just painful and exhausting, triggering migraines, all that stuff. And I found out, but I have the support of tons of friends here, and I have a home. Like, I have a home. A friend of mine from college, I found out she's living in London. She's been over there. She has a chronic illness. She has epilepsy. And I'm so incredibly, she amazes me. She went through college, she got her master's, she got her PhD, and is rocking it out in the theater scene in England. Um, but just a week ago, her flat caught on fire. Um, and her and her flatmates escaped, and they're okay. Like nobody was physically harmed, but they lost everything. And they had to find a shelter in the middle of the night. And they're hopping from shelter to shelter or like sofas, doing what they can as their apartment gets repaired because it's completely I mean, they can't go back in because the condition of the fire um, and the way it needs to be clean for safety purposes. Um, and all of her family is here in the States. Um, so imagine that losing everything in a minute, you know, all of your clothes, you know, all of your food, everything, memories, like everything is just gone. And now she has, and that is stress, and she has epilepsy, and she is trying to survive, find housing, get new clothes. This is costly and it's stressful. And I wanted to share her story because I'm just I'm worried for her. And I also know how hard my move was on me when I had, you know, it was just, I mean, it was a move. It wasn't losing everything and but I remember being displaced last year and suddenly having to find a sofa to get on. And that was exhausting and killed me. And I worry about her. I'm in awe of her. And doing this is devastating enough for anybody. But then to also have a chronic invisible illness on top of that is just profound. It's devastating. So I wanted to share her story. We've put her story up on our website in the news section so you can hear about Deirdre. And if you are able to give $1, $5, I know most people listening are on limited income, like myself and the co-host. Even if you could send an email, like a message of support, Spoonie support to Deirdre. I know knowing that you're supported um, from a community is also extremely helpful. It gives you strength in times like this. So check out Deirdre's story under the news tab of our section. Also, as a reminder, our latest episode on working and disability is up on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Links are on our website. And we also have, information for the season on the season schedule on our website. So check us out, www.speakinginspoons.com. I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday and, save your spoons or spending to use some extra. Happy spoons. Bye.
If you want to contact us, please send a DM or email to speakinginspoons@gmail.com with any stories you have or would like to interview with us on any of our upcoming topics. And check out our website for all of our upcoming episodes and what's happening in the Speaking Spoons community at www.speakinginspoons.com. Thank you for listening to Speaking in Spoons and have a great day.